Have you ever wondered how small, intentional shifts could unlock a version of yourself that's happier, stronger, and more at peace? Welcome to Stoic Way, where we explore the ancient yet ever-relevant teachings of Stoic philosophy to bring you practical wisdom for modern living. In this deep dive, we're uncovering 10 powerful secrets rooted in resilience, mindfulness, and emotional mastery that you can start using today to transform your life. Whether you're seeking calm amidst chaos or a path to lasting fulfillment, these Stoic-inspired practices will guide you step by step. Join us on this journey and discover how to live with purpose and unshakable strength. Practice gratitude daily. Imagine waking up each morning and taking a quiet moment to reflect on what truly matters. Grab a notebook and write down 3 things you're grateful for, perhaps the soft glow of sunrise through your window, the laughter of a loved one, or even the simple comfort of a warm meal. This isn't just a feel-good exercise, it's a deliberate shift in perspective. By focusing on what you have rather than what's missing, you train your mind to see abundance where you once saw lack. Over time, this habit builds a lens of positivity, amplifying the small joys that often slip by unnoticed. Gratitude doesn't erase life's challenges, but it equips you to face them with a lighter heart. Picture yourself weeks from now, noticing how this practice steadies your mood, brightens your outlook, and roots you firmly in the present. It's a cornerstone of Stoic wisdom, appreciating what's within your grasp while letting go of futile discontent. Embrace a minimalist mindset. Now, let's turn to your surroundings. Walk through your home and ask, what here truly serves me? Minimalism begins with letting go, discarding the worn-out clothes piling up in your closet, the gadgets gathering dust, the mental clutter of endless to-do lists. This isn't about stripping your life bare, it's about curating it with intention. Picture a desk free of chaos, a living space that breathes calm, a mind unburdened by excess. When you remove what's unnecessary, you carve out room for what ignites your passion, be it a creative project, a meaningful conversation, or simply silence to think. Studies show clutter heightens stress, while a streamlined environment boosts focus and creativity. In Stoic terms, this is about controlling what you can, your space, your attention, your peace. As you detour, you'll feel a weight lift, replaced by clarity and a renewed sense of purpose. Cultivate unshakable discipline. Discipline is the quiet force that turns aspirations into achievements. Start small, commit to a 10-minute walk each day, a page of a book, or a brief meditation before bed. These aren't grand gestures, they're promises you keep to yourself. The Stoics believe that consistency forges character, and they were right. Each time you follow through, you build a reservoir of resolve, a strength that carries you through tougher days. Think of it as constructing a bridge. Every plank laid, every goal met brings you closer to the life you envision. Distractions will tempt you, doubts will creep in, but discipline is your shield. It's not about perfection, it's about showing up day after day. Months from now, you'll look back at the skills mastered, the habits formed, and the obstacles overcome, all because you chose to stay the course. This is Stoic perseverance in action. Live mindfully in the moment. Pause for a moment right now and take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs, then release it slowly. This is mindfulness, anchoring yourself in the present, free from the pull of yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's worries. The Stoics prize this clarity, urging us to fully inhabit each fleeting second. Try this. Sit quietly for 5 minutes, focusing only on your breath, or take a walk and notice the rustle of leaves, the rhythm of your steps. These practices quiet the mind's chatter, easing stress and sharpening focus. When emotions surge, anger, fear, sadness, mindfulness lets you observe them without being consumed. You're not suppressing feelings, you're understanding them, choosing responses over reactions. This isn't escapism, it's empowerment. Over time, you'll find yourself calmer, more present, and better equipped to handle life's unpredictability with grace. Master your reactions. Life throws curveballs, delays, conflicts, unexpected setbacks. You can't stop them, but you can decide how they affect you. The Stoics taught that true power lies in our responses. Next time frustration strikes, pause. Count to 5. Ask, what can I control here? Maybe it's your tone in a tense conversation, your patience in a slow line, or your refusal to let anger take root. This isn't about bottling up emotions, it's about directing them wisely. Imagine a stormy sea. You can't calm the waves, but you can steer your ship. By mastering your reactions, you preserve your inner peace and project strength. Relationships improve as you respond with thoughtfulness. Challenges shrink as you refuse to fuel them with rashness. This practice builds emotional resilience, turning you into the calm at the center of any storm. Pursue wisdom relentlessly. Knowledge is a flame that never dims. Feed it. Pick up a book on Stoicism, like Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, or tune into a podcast that challenges your thinking. Seek out mentors, friends, or even strangers with stories to share. The Stoics saw wisdom as a lifelong quest, not a trophy to claim. Each insight you gain, whether about human nature, ethics, or the universe, widens your perspective. It's like adding tools to a kit. The more you learn, the better you navigate life's complexities. Don't just consume, reflect. Ask, how does this apply to me? Wisdom isn't passive, it's a spark that fuels better decisions, deeper understanding, and a richer existence. Years from now, you'll see how this pursuit shaped you into someone wiser, more adaptable, and profoundly alive. Build a resilient spirit. Life isn't a straight path, it's a rugged climb. Resilience is your rope and harness. When setbacks hit, a lost job, a broken plan, a personal failure, don't flinch. Lean in. Ask, what can I learn? Picture a time you fell and rose again. That's resilience at work. It's not about dodging pain but growing through it. Each trial hones your strength, sharpens your courage, and deepens your capacity to endure. Celebrate the small victories. The day you kept going, the moment you chose hope over despair. This mindset doesn't just help you survive, it lets you thrive. With every challenge met, you become a version of yourself that's tougher, wiser, and ready for whatever lies ahead. Nurture uplifting relationships. Who lifts you up? Seek them out. Surround yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and support you. Friends who cheer your wins, family who steady you in storms, colleagues who push you to grow. The Stoics valued community, knowing we're stronger together. Nurture these bonds with time and care. A phone call, a shared meal, a heartfelt thank you. These connections aren't just nice to have, they're lifelines. Research shows positive relationships boost mental health, lower stress, and even lengthen life. Cut ties with toxicity, those who drain or diminish you, and invest in those who light your path. This network becomes your fortress, a source of joy and strength that carries you through life's highs and lows. Own your choices. Take the wheel of your life. Every decision, every misstep, claim it. Spilled coffee on a bad morning. A harsh word you regret. Don't deflect, own it, learn from it. The Stoics saw accountability as freedom. When you stop blaming others, you start shaping your future. Admitting a mistake isn't weakness, it's courage. Apologize where needed, adjust where possible, and move forward wiser. People respect this honesty. It builds trust and credibility. More importantly, it empowers you. Each time you take responsibility, you reclaim control, turning stumbles into stepping stones. This proactive stance fuels confidence, growth, and a life you can stand behind with pride. Prioritize self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup, fill yours. Carve out time to rest, a nap after a long day, a night with a good book, a walk in nature. Feed your body well, fresh meals, water, movement, and your mind with hobbies that spark joy, like painting, gardening, or music. The Stoics knew self-care isn't indulgence, it's maintenance. Neglect it, and you falter. Honor it, and you flourish. Picture a day where you feel energized, not drained. Self-care makes that real. It's the foundation for resilience, the fuel for your goals, the gift you give yourself to keep showing up. By caring for you, you ensure you're ready to care for others and chase what matters most. These 10 Stoic secrets, from embracing gratitude to prioritizing self-care, offer a blueprint for a life of depth, strength, and serenity. They teach us to master what we can, release what we can't, and find richness in every moment. At Stoic Way, we're here to guide you, so tell us in the comments, which secret will you try first and why? Hit that subscribe button for more insights to fuel your journey, and share this with someone who needs a lift. Stick around for our next discussion, an electrifying dive into these principles with Benjamin and Charlotte, coming up on our podcast.
All right, get ready, because by popular demand, we are doing a deep dive on Stoicism today.
Oh, yeah.
And for this, we're going to be looking at this book,
Okay.
Stoic Lessons. Find peace and power for a fulfilling life. We're going to try to unpack 10
Nice.
secrets that the Stoics used to thrive, not just survive
Yeah.
in, the ancient world, and how these lessons apply today.
What I think is really cool about Stoicism is that it's not just some dusty old philosophy.
Right.
It's actually super applicable to like modern life, and it gives you a set of tools to deal with
Yeah.
all the curveballs that life throws at you.
So no togas required for today's deep dive.
No togas, just bring an open mind and maybe a notepad, because there's a lot of practical advice in here that you might want to jot down.
I like it. Pen and paper at the ready.
Yeah.
So secret number 1, gratitude.
Okay.
Now, I've heard a lot about gratitude journals, but this book is suggesting we go way beyond just, making a list of things we're thankful for.
It's almost like our minds are hardwired to focus on what's missing,
Right.
what we don't have. And the Stoics were very aware of this, so they actually developed practices to combat that negativity bias.
Okay.
And one of the techniques they used was negative visualization.
Interesting.
So imagine losing something that you truly value.
Oh, wow. Okay, that got really fast.
Right. It's a powerful way to really appreciate what you have right now.
Yeah.
And research actually shows that gratitude's not just this like feel-good thing.
All right.
It can rewire your brain to focus on the positive, and it leads to increased happiness and resilience.
So I'm forcing myself to think about like all the bad things that could happen or losing things that I love. That's good for me.
Yeah, and it's not about ignoring the negative feelings or pretending everything is perfect.
Yeah.
It's about consciously shifting your perspective to appreciate the good, even in the midst of challenges.
I can see how that would be helpful, especially when things are feeling really tough.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next on our Stoic to-do list?
So let's talk about minimalism.
Okay.
Now, before you start panicking about having to get rid of everything you own.
Oh, phew. Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, the Stoics were all about intentionality.
Okay.
So it's not about deprivation. It's about
Got it.
asking yourself, does this thing I'm holding on to, does it serve me? Does it bring me joy?
Yeah.
Or help me live a life that's aligned with my values?
Right.
Imagine walking through your home and asking yourself that about each item.
Okay, yeah, that's a much less intimidating way of thinking about it than just like chucking everything out.
Right.
But how does getting rid of stuff actually, how does that make my life better?
Well, studies show that clutter actually increases stress hormones.
What?
It bombards your senses with visual noise.
Oh, okay.
Making it harder to focus.
Oh, that's interesting.
On the flip side, minimalist environments are actually linked to creativity
Oh.
and a sense of calm. It's almost like you're decluttering your mind and your space.
So it's less about living in like a stark white box and more about curating your environment to support
Exactly.
the life that you want to live.
The Stoics knew that you can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control your immediate surroundings.
Right.
So minimalism helps create a sense of order and control, which is really helpful
Yeah.
in a chaotic world.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so secret number 3 is discipline.
Okay.
I'll be honest, this one always kind of makes me cringe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like strict rules and denying myself all the fun stuff.
Yeah, the Stoics wouldn't see it that way.
Okay.
They viewed discipline as building a bridge to your goals.
Okay.
So each small, consistent action is like laying down a plank on that bridge,
Oh, I like that. Okay.
bringing it closer to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about on those days when I have zero motivation and all I want to do is sit on the couch?
Even then, the Stoics would say, take one small step. Maybe it's 5 minutes of exercise. Maybe it's reading one page of that book you've been meaning to start.
Okay.
The point is to build that habit of showing up even when you don't feel like it.
Right.
They saw that as building character.
So it's not about being perfect, it's about consistency.
Precisely, yeah. And they also believe that that consistency is a form of self-respect. It's about honoring the commitments you make to yourself.
Right.
Now, of course, in today's world, we face distractions the Stoics couldn't even have imagined.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My phone is like a black hole of procrastination.
That's where discipline becomes even more important.
Right.
The Stoics would view discipline as a shield protecting your time and energy from all of those digital distractions.
So do they have any like practical tips for dealing with, let's say, like a social media addiction?
Well, they might suggest setting specific times for checking social media.
Okay.
Or even using technology to block distracting websites during work hours. The key is to be intentional about how you spend your time.
Yeah.
You're in control, not your phone.
Okay. Point taken.
Yeah.
My phone might be winning the battle right now, but I'm ready to fight back.
Yeah.
This is already so insightful, and we're only on secret number 3.
Right.
We're not ready to keep going.
Absolutely. There's so much more to explore in the world of Stoic wisdom.
Let's do it. Okay. My brain is officially buzzing with all this Stoic wisdom.
Oh, good.
I'm ready for secret number 4.
Let's dive into mindfulness.
Okay.
This is a big one, especially in our always on, super connected world.
Yeah, mindfulness has always seemed a little woo-woo to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm picturing like sitting cross-legged and chanting, ooh.
Well, the Stoics weren't about that.
Okay.
For them, mindfulness was about bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment.
Yep.
It's about noticing your thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them.
Okay, that sounds a little more doable.
Yeah.
But how do you actually do that? I mean, my mind is like a runaway train most of the time.
Well, try this. Just take a deep breath right now.
Okay.
Feel the air filling your lungs.
Okay.
Hold it for a moment and then slowly exhale.
Okay.
Notice the sensations in your body, the rise and fall of your chest.
Takes a deep breath. Wow. I actually do feel a little calmer.
Right.
Yeah.
It can be that simple. The Stoics understood that our minds are constantly being pulled to the past or the future.
Right.
Replaying worries or anxieties.
Yeah.
Mindfulness brings you back to the now.
So it's not about like emptying your mind completely. It's more about becoming the observer of your thoughts.
Exactly. It's about creating that space between you and your thoughts so you're not ruled by them.
Right.
This allows you to respond to situations with more clarity and composure rather than just reacting impulsively.
You know what? I actually tried a meditation app once.
Yeah.
And I completely failed.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking about like all the things I had to do that day.
It takes practice. And honestly, even experienced meditators have those wandering thoughts.
Right.
The key is to just gently guide your attention back to your breath or whatever your focus point is without judging yourself.
Yeah.
And there are real benefits.
Okay.
Studies have shown that mindfulness can reduce stress. It can improve focus.
Right.
It can even boost your emotional intelligence.
Okay, you've convinced me.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give it another try, especially if it means less stress and more focus.
Yeah.
So what's next on our Stoic journey?
Well, let's talk about mastering your reactions.
Ooh.
The Stoics had this brilliant analogy for this. Imagine yourself as a ship in a stormy sea.
I like that.
You can't control the waves,
Right.
but you can control how you steer your ship.
So when life throws a storm at us, we have the power to choose how we navigate it.
Precisely. And it's not about suppressing your emotions. It's about becoming aware of them. Right.
And choosing how you respond.
Yeah.
The Stoics believed that reacting impulsively, like with anger or fear, just makes the storm worse.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do we become better captains of our own ships?
Well, it starts with recognizing your triggers.
Okay.
So what situations or people tend to push your buttons?
Yeah.
What are your typical reactions?
Okay.
Once you're aware of those patterns,
Yeah.
you can start to choose a different course.
So for example, if I know that being stuck in traffic always makes me rage,
Right.
I can come up with a plan.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll do some deep breathing exercises or put on some calming music.
Exactly.
Just something to kind of help me manage.
And remember, the Stoics weren't about being emotionless robots.
All right.
They believed in experiencing your emotions fully,
Yeah.
but not letting them control your actions.
Yeah.
They saw mastering your reactions as true strength.
This is so eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's reframing challenges as opportunities for growth. Exactly.
Okay, so what's the next Stoic secret we got to unlock?
Okay, secret number 6 is all about the relentless pursuit of wisdom.
Okay.
Now, this book mentions Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, which is a classic Stoic text.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Have you?
Yeah, it's on my reading list.
Oh, good.
So reading Stoic texts, that's the key to wisdom.
It's a great start.
Okay.
But the Stoics believed that wisdom wasn't confined to books.
Right.
They sought it everywhere, in nature, in conversations, even in their own failures.
Yeah.
They believed that every experience, good or bad, held a lesson.
So it's about being a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
Constantly curious, constantly seeking out new knowledge. But what's the difference between just like having knowledge
Yeah.
and actual wisdom?
Well, for the Stoics, wisdom wasn't about accumulating facts. It was about applying that knowledge to live a better life.
Right.
It was about using your understanding to make sound judgments, to navigate difficult situations, to build strong relationships.
So it's about turning knowledge into action.
Yeah.
Not just knowing what's right,
Right.
but actually doing what's right.
Exactly. It's about living in alignment with your values,
Yeah.
even when it's hard.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of challenges, let's talk about secret number 7, building a resilient spirit.
Okay, this one feels especially relevant these days. I feel like we're constantly bombarded with like bad news and uncertainty.
Yeah, the Stoics understood that hardship is an inevitable part of life. They didn't try to avoid it.
Right.
They actually saw it as an opportunity for growth.
So it's not about pretending that everything's fine.
Right.
It's about learning to cope with the tough stuff.
Exactly.
But how do we do that? Like, how do we build that inner strength?
Think of it this way. Each time you face a challenge and you overcome it,
Yeah.
you're building a muscle, a resilience muscle.
Okay.
The Stoics believed that every obstacle, every setback added another layer of strength to your character.
So it's about reframing failures as learning experiences.
Yes.
Instead of letting it knock us down, we use it to make us stronger.
Exactly. And they also emphasize the importance of celebrating those small victories.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's not just about achieving the big goals.
Right.
It's about acknowledging the progress you make every step of the way.
Yeah, it's about focusing on the wins no matter how small to kind of keep ourselves motivated.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next Stoic secret we need to master? I'm starting to see why Stoicism is like making a comeback.
Yeah.
It's like a practical guide to just like dealing with life. So what's next? What's the next secret?
Let's talk about nurturing, uplifting relationships.
Okay.
The Stoics considered this fundamental to, like, living a good life.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. We all need friends and family for support.
But it actually goes deeper than that.
Okay.
They saw strong, healthy relationships as, like, essential, not just a nice bonus. They thought of it as the supportive people in your life are like a fortress,
Okay.
providing strength and shelter during life's storms.
Oh, I like that.
And it turns out there's actually science to back that up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, research shows that people with strong social connections, they tend to be happier,
Okay.
healthier, and they even live longer.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just some like feel-good thing.
No, it's really important.
It's essential.
How do we apply this Stoic wisdom to relationships today?
Be intentional about it.
Okay.
Identify those people who truly lift you up and make an effort to nurture those bonds.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be grand gestures,
Right.
like a simple phone call,
Right.
thoughtful note,
Yeah.
or just showing up for someone when they need it. All those things can make a big difference.
I like that small actions can have a big impact. Okay. 2 more secrets to go. What's next?
Yeah, this one's a little challenging, but it's incredibly empowering.
It's owning your choices. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from taking responsibility for our actions,
Ugh, okay.
even when it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, that is tough.
It is.
It's so much easier to just blame like outside circumstances when things go wrong.
But think about it this way. When you play the blame game, you're giving away your power.
Oh, okay.
You're saying, I'm a victim of circumstance.
Right.
But when you own your choices, you take control.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see the appeal of that.
Yeah.
But what about when we like really mess up, like really screw things up?
Well, the Stoics wouldn't say beat yourself up.
Yeah.
They saw mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow.
Okay.
The key is to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time?
So it's about accountability.
Yes.
Not self-punishment.
Exactly.
Okay.
And remember, owning your choices also means owning your successes.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, celebrate your wins.
Yeah.
Big or small. And acknowledge the role you played in achieving them.
Yeah, give yourself credit where credit is due.
Exactly.
Okay, lay it on me. What's the final secret?
Hmm.
I'm ready to graduate from Stoic school.
Last but not least, prioritizing self-care.
Ooh.
The Stoics understood you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, to show up for others, to tackle challenges, to live that fulfilling life,
Right.
you need to take care of yourself.
Self-care is like all the rage right now, but what did self-care look like for the Stoics?
Well, they probably weren't, going to the spa.
Right.
For them, it was more about practices that nourished the mind, the body, and the spirit. Maybe taking a walk in nature, having a good conversation with a friend,
Right.
or even just taking some time for quiet reflection.
So it's about being intentional and choosing activities that give you energy, that replenish you.
Yeah, and this is where it gets personal.
Okay.
What fills your cup? What activities leave you feeling refreshed and grounded? Ready to face the world, make those a priority,
Yeah.
not an afterthought.
This has been incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a whole new set of tools for life.
Oh, good.
But before we go, is there anything else we can learn from the Stoics about how to put all these secrets into practice?
Here's a final thought. Imagine for a moment that these Stoic practices were already part of your life.
Okay.
How would you approach that challenge you've been wrestling with? That difficult conversation you've been putting off? That goal that just feels out of reach?
I think I would approach everything with more calm, more clarity, more confidence. It's like having this inner strength that you can draw on.
That's the power of Stoicism.
Yeah.
It's not like a magic solution,
Right.
but it offers a path towards a life of greater resilience, meaning, and fulfillment.
This has been amazing.
It's been fun.
Thanks for taking us on this deep dive. And for everyone listening, keep exploring, keep learning, keep diving deep into things that matter.